Destroy the cocoons before they hatch, or they'll keep coming. Found some bones that seem to belong to Lucane in the depths of the labyrinth. The tattered raiments and jewelry leave no doubt that the corpse is indeed Lucane's. You bring back the bones of the magician Lucane. You found Lucane, but he was dead. You imagine the fairy will be overcome with grief, but you need to return to her.
Welcome to my shop. Which one do you want?
You found Lucane, but he was dead. You imagine the... When you enter the laboratory, the fairy frantically flits around you, as if it senses your uneasiness. Upon seeing Lucane's bones, the fairy enters into a panic. She begins tugging at your arm to get you to leave the tower. The fairy is apparently attempting to lead you somewhere. You collect Lucane's bones and follow her. As you enter, a kindly voice echoes from the back. You seem to be in need of help, a monk says, and approaches you. You nervously hand the monk the bones of Lucane. Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead the wandering soul back. Reverse death. And awaken them. The prayer reaches the goddess, and the pile of bones is once again given flesh. Lucain, shocked to find himself alive, thanks you profusely. He tells you to visit him at his laboratory and leaves. The resurrected magician has returned to the old tower in town. You decide to see him to ask more details.
Wandering One, how can I help you?
Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead the wandering soul back. Reverse death. And awaken them. Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead the wandering soul back. Reverse death. And awaken them. The resurrected magician has returned to the old tower in town. You decide to see him to ask more details. The magician Lucain is waiting for you in the laboratory of the old tower. It seems that dying had an adverse effect on his short-term memory. Lucain can't remember why he went to meet Wallace. Lucain is researching magic called runes, which are closely tied to spirits and fairies. Lucain introduces his fairy friend to you. Her name is Tiki. She left the fairy forest due to her strong curiosity. He thanks you again for saving him and allowing him to enjoy life's rich pageant. He displays his magic trinkets. Lucain says he'd be happy to sell you these items at a fraction of the normal price and answer any questions you have. What will you ask? The magician Wallace was an old friend of Lucain's. He was known as a great magician. He sealed that group, or myopia of Cyclopes, in a labyrinth and saved the land. He also mentored young magicians in his tower. He was also the king's trusted advisor, and Lucain trails off. It seems that Lucain's memory has failed him again. Before you realize it, Tiki is following you around. She seems to have taken a liking to you. She will accompany you on your adventures henceforth. Fairies are known to be adept at finding hidden things.